So I'm joined here with one of the top 4 players in the Shadowverse West, Docdodo. So when I do these interviews, normally I just ask the other person to introduce themselves, their name, their program, and their role within the team. So would you be able to do that to start us off?
Sure. Hey, I'm Robert. I'm in game programming, second year, third year going in. My role on the team, I'm, I guess, a player. We don't really have roles necessarily besides like player and coach because it's like 1v1 in Shadowverse. It's a card game. So player, I guess.
All right. So how are you feeling after that performance there? Did things go as well as you had hoped?
Better, actually. I didn't expect to get that far. Getting like top 4 in like North America and Europe's not bad.
Absolutely ridiculous. It's like top 4 out of I think it was 214 players that I read. So the last time that you're in the top 8 for this Shadowverse Open, it was in March and you lost in the quarterfinals. But this time around, obviously, as we said, you made it to the semifinals. So what was the difference in your mindset and preparation between March's top 8 and this top 8?
Well, like the meta changed, like there was like rotation, so all my decks were completely different. I think mine this time are a bit better overall. I guess that was it. I think I played a bit better, honestly, but not too much change besides like the deck change. But like I think it was mostly just the deck change, honestly, because there were like 3 completely new ones that I think were a lot better, honestly. Like they're like the top meta decks. Last time was like one that was a little bit behind.
So just a really good meta adaptation then.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you were the top 8 in March, but you were not in the top 8 in April. So what happened there?
I ran the exact same decks, but it's like sometimes like this is a luck-based game as well. So like sometimes it's just not there. Happens, I guess.
Yep, feels bad. So in the first round, went to a game 3, and in that game 3, your opponent pulled out a Zeus. And so I don't really know much about Shadowverse, but all I saw was this guy pulls out this card against you, and it's got like this big 17 on it. So what were your thoughts there?
So he actually got unlucky because how Zeus works, how his entire deck works was he tries to use evolve points, which is like a currency. It's like I guess like a currency in game or a resource that powers up your guys and does certain things. And every time he does that, his Zeus gets stronger when you play it, but the effects are random. But one of them is the ability to attack face, which he didn't get. And like another one's to like ignore wards or like things that they have to attack into. So if he got 2 of those, he might have been able to have lethal, but it's like a very slim chance. So he just got like a big ward, which is like enough to protect him, but I had the stuff to stop it. I think I don't think his lists were that refined. Honestly, I think that's the only reason I won, even though they were like very close. Like his blood list, the vampire guy, he was only running 1 of this card. He should have been running 3 of. And I actually won the game because I kind of just made a call. I'm like, he probably doesn't have this. He's only running 1 of it. So I kind of like didn't play around it. And that won me the first game. So I think that's the real defining moment.
That's awesome. So during the stream, after the quarterfinal matches, they had a break before the semifinals and finals. So how did you spend your time during that break?
Just eating. Because you got to go for like a few games in a row or like waiting. Because if you miss your call, that's it. So it's usually just waiting around.
Spending the break breaking.
Yeah. So
in the second match, you were against Cyrus. And in that first game, he had just a whole bunch of tree spam. So what was going on there?
So he was playing Nature Dragon, which is like the entire point of that deck is that it's a certain amount of damage every turn. It's kind of repetitive, depending on how many trees they destroy. So usually you want to like get up to like 5 or 6 trees and just wait a few turns. He ended up getting up to 13 and 1 and like 1 with exact lethal. That's really, really uncommon. He just had it, I guess. Other than that, it was like really close.
Absolutely unlucky. So what are your thoughts going into the next month?
So there's gonna be a mini expansion, which is like 18 to 20 cards or so. So the meta is obviously gonna change. So I have to like make new decks maybe, or at least alter them. Because like this one in April's, they were basically the same decks because the meta didn't really change that much.
So when they concluded the stream, they were showing these overall circuit points. And I take it that towards the end of 2020, that's when they have the World Championships. How do you feel your chances are when it comes to qualifying for the World Championships?
Definitely not this year. I think I'm like too far behind. I think I missed an SVO at some point, maybe. I could be wrong though, but next year probably, maybe. At least like close. Because how it works is if you win an SVO, you automatically enter into like a bigger cup with like more money and stuff. Or if you're in the like top certain amount of league points, you also qualify. Currently, I'm neither, but like next time probably, because like I'm not too far behind the top players.
That's really good. Like, especially something that they mentioned on stream was there's still a lot of newcomers just kind of showing up on a month-by-month basis that no one's ever really heard of, and then, you know, they make the top 8, or in some cases they actually win. And, you know, obviously you made the top 8 twice here, so that's really consistent. So before we wrap things up here, are there any shout outs or thank yous or any other topics that you want to touch on?
Definitely the team. Because like Raph, Jason, and Nick especially, they do a lot. There's not too many of us, but like I really couldn't have done it without practicing with them basically every weekend and stuff. Because like there's not too much you can do on your own in Shadowverse, because you can just like play on ladder, but you really need a second person's opinion on decks and stuff. Because I probably would have gone in with different decks if I didn't have that, but they help you refine your list, I guess, is the key thing, which really helped out, and is the only reason I won, really.
All right, well, awesome. Well, yeah, that will conclude it here. Thank you again so much for doing this, and hopefully I'll be contacting you again next month after your next top 8 placements.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.